following program brought to you by the Grill Master. Welcome to the show, Backyard Grilling with the Grill Master. This is my backyard, and I am the Grill Master. Today's featured sponsor, Farmland Pork. Today, we're going to be doing some meats with pork shoulder. We got some pork shoulder. We're going to be doing a stuffed pork shoulder, and I'm going to show you how to do that. This is a very special show, so we're going to look at our time and see how we're doing. But for sure we're going to do the pork shoulder stuffed, and so we're going to start with that. We're going to get over here, and I'm going to need some cornbread, and I'm going to need some breadcrumbs and some raisins and apple pie filling to start off with. And we'll get our bowl here, and we're going to get this cornbread. Now you can make your own and you know, cornbread or whatever, but you know, I went out there and they have these corn muffins ready to go there at Market Street at the deli. Just go in there, and what we're gonna do, there's 6 of them, and we're just gonna crush them up here, you know, inside this bowl, just like this, and then we're gonna take just plain breadcrumbs, and it's gonna be 2 cups of breadcrumbs. 1, and that's 2. We can get these mixed up, this cornbread and the breadcrumbs. And then we're going to take half a cup of raisins, which is about these little sun-made raisins, these little boxes, about 3 of them. So you just get them. You put these 3 little boxes of raisins in there. Then we're going to mix this together by hand. These are the dry ingredients, so we'll be doing these by hand. I mean that you know, half a cup, that's about half a cup maybe. And I'm going to go ahead and put all 3 of these packages because I like raisins in this stuffing that the recipe that I use for this pork shoulder. We'll get these just mixed in there, and then next thing we're going to do is we're going to get a spoon here, and we've got some of this Food Club brand apple pie filling. You know, that'll work just fine. And we're going to take a cup of this. This right here is a 20 ounce, so we're not going to use a whole lot of it, maybe a third of it or so. And then we'll just take our spoon and we'll mix this together here. Now once we get all these ingredients here mixed, then we're going to continue to our next step. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to take I've took a pound of breakfast sausage, and I browned it, so we're going to put that in there. Then we're going to take some sage and some poultry seasoning and a little bit of salt and pepper. And we're going to take a tablespoon of poultry seasoning and just put it in here. And same with the sage. Just going to take a tablespoon of that sage. I love that sage. Smells good. And then we're going to take some salt and season it. Just regular old table salt. We're gonna season a little bit there, and then we're gonna take some coarse ground black pepper also and season it a little bit. I don't want to put too much. I know I love black pepper and thing, but I'm not gonna put too much on this. I don't want it to overpower all the other flavors and the seasoning in there. So we'll get this tossed in there, and then we're gonna take the chicken broth, this regular old Food Club brand chicken broth. We're gonna take 2 cups of that, and we'll add a little at a time. I'm gonna go ahead and add maybe about a cup or so, and then because I don't want it to get too runny, but we want to make sure that the consistency is as well, where it stays together. So we'll do a little bit of mix there, and then we'll add a little bit more of that chicken broth. Oops. This should about do it right there. Next thing we do is we're going to take just 1 can of cream of mushroom soup, Food Club brand. You know, tell you what, United's been so generous, you know, in sponsoring the show. Everything I use, you can get down there at United or, you know, Market Street, Amigos, all 3. You know, they carry all this, so it's not a problem. Just get that soup, and then we're going to mix this in there with it and see what the consistency is on it. So far it looks pretty good. It's wet enough that it's staying together. The breadcrumbs are, you know, if you see a lot of breadcrumbs at the bottom that are still real dry, then you just add a little bit more of that chicken broth. But like I said, this has a real good consistency. Tell you what, yeah, that's real good right there. So once we get this mixed here, I'm going to set it aside just like that, and I'm going to get these things here out of the way just a little bit, and then I'm going to show you what I did here. Was I took a pork shoulder, and of course they're bone in, so I took the pork shoulder and I just went up to where the bone was and just started cutting around it, started cutting around that bone, and I deboned it now, obviously. And then once it was deboned, that bone is mostly on one side, so you can tell this was right here is where that bone was. So I cut around it, took that bone out, and then I took my knife and then I just butterflied it. I wouldn't just, you know, cut it out, not all the way, just kind of so you could open it just like this. And then, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take this stuff in here, and I'm just gonna put it all around here. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper just for seasoning on the meat. It's not, you know, not a whole lot, because there's a lot of flavor, a lot of seasoning in that stuffing. So I'm not gonna take too much, just a little bit, just enough to give it a little bit of flavor. But then we'll just, like I said, we'll take the stuff in here, and then you just put it on here and just lay it all across, you know, all across this whole, because once we get this, you're gonna try to leave a little bit on the edge, a little bit of meat, you know, don't spread it all the way to the edge, because what we're gonna do is once we get all this stuffing in here, or most of this stuffing, I don't know if it'll all fit in here, once we get all this stuff, when we get the stuffing on this shoulder, then we're gonna take this shoulder and just roll it. We're just gonna roll it and make it a bundle like that, and just throw it on the grill, and that's it, and let it cook. That'll take about hour to hour and a half for this to cook, depending on your shoulder. You know, this one here, right here in the middle, it's pretty thick, so there's a, you know, it's gonna take a little bit of time to cook. But like I said, just, you know, get your stuffing in there and get it. Now if you'll notice, I have a little thin flap out here. I just kind of left it there without putting any stuffing in it. because but I'm gonna use that flap to kind of seal it, I guess you could say. But you know, and like I said, you know, just however thick you want to put it on there, or thin. But and just carefully just take this shoulder and then just start rolling it. You see how it's coming, that dressing's coming out towards the edge. That's why you want to leave a little bit of meat there when you're stuffing it, a little bit, because when you roll it, that stuffing's going to come out. And just, you know, just don't have to do it real tight. Just, you know. And then what I'm going to do is, I hope I have them here. Oh, I don't. I think I have them in my other drawer. But I'm just going to take a wooden skewer and then just skewer this right here all the way through. And then I'm just going to set this on the grill and let it cook. All right, so we got our stuffed pork shoulder on the grill. Now, I took another pork shoulder and deboned it also and butterflied it. And all I did on that one, I just seasoned it and threw it on the grill. We're gonna get that cooked. And the reason I didn't do much to it is because the flavor is gonna be here. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do a tomatillo salsa with some hatch peppers. I know hatch pepper season just ended, and I know you all have some in your freezer or in your refrigerator, and you don't know what to do with them. Well, here you go. Here's a nice little recipe. And all I did was I took a clove of garlic, just cut it roughly and put it in there. I took a handful of cilantro. We're gonna put that in there. It's not hard. This is real simple, really. You can do that cilantro, that garlic, and then I took some tomatillos, green tomatillos, cut them in half, put a little oil on them, and I threw them on the grill. There, you get that smoky flavor. And you can cut them up if you want. You know, if they're a little too big, like this one was pretty small, you know, and just throw it in there. But you get these, just toss them in there, and in that food processor, and then you can tell I took 4 of the hatch chilies and I grilled them, toasted them, or whatever you want to, roasted them, or whatever you want to call it. But I put them on the grill, and I took that skin off, you can tell, and so I just kind of roughly cut these babies here, and we'll throw them in there like that, just like that. The good thing is here you can make as much of this as you want, because this will keep, and you can use this salsa for tacos, for your, you know, whatever. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make some with that other pork shoulder that I'm grilling, that I just seasoned with salt and pepper. We're gonna make some tacos with that, and we're gonna be using the salsa on that. So again, you can just refrigerate it, and that'll work. So we'll get this out of the way, maybe. There you go. And then we'll just get our food processor here, and get our little lid on here. Now, what I'm gonna do is I've taken some water, and we're just gonna add a little bit of water, and then just pulse it there. And the water's for consistency, however you want it, you know. See how that looks. Oh, maybe just a little bit more. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Take a little bit of salt, season it. Oops. No, spoony. Oh, that's how we do it. And then just take a little bit of salt, season it, and tell you what, it'll be ready. We'll get those tacos ready. And the next thing I'm gonna do, I'll show you here, man. I'm gonna put a little bit more salt. Like that. Do one more little turn in our food processor. Oops. And that's it. We'll put this aside. We're gonna get our We get our little bowl here. Take that salsa. Yeah. Put it in our little bowl here. And just set it aside so when we get the tacos ready, we'll get that baby on there. Just like that. Well, there you have it, folks. Our stuffed pork shoulder. Look at that. You know? Well, I'll tell you what, it's wonderful. And all this, all you gotta do is you just take your knife, your Thomas knife you probably got with the stickers, and then just start cutting it and just start serving it. And I'll tell you what, that is delicioso. And then this is the pork shoulder. Like I said, all we did was season it because we're gonna make some tacos with it. So you just make sure the last thing you do is warm up your corn tortillas, because they get cold pretty quick once they're warm. So you know, you warm up your tortillas. And then what we did, I grilled some pineapple, and I grilled a little bit of purple onion. So we'll take some of this here, and you know, we sliced a little bit here, just enough for, well, I didn't finish cutting it, did I? What is that now? See that? Wow, like my mom would say, oh wow, that's it right there. Take a couple of pieces of masa, take a little bit, and you know, this is really cool. You know, just have everything here on your board, and people can just come by and serve themselves. You know, you don't have to waste plates or anything. You know, just let them come by, just get it all fixed, and then get a little bit of that tomatillo salsa with the hatch peppers. Mira. Ooh. Tell you what, delicioso. And anyway, I want to thank all my sponsors for continued support of the show, all the fans. You know, go by and check out my Facebook page. I've posted a lot of things on there on my Facebook page. I think I found someone that's going to help me with my website and get it updated and do a few more things with that. But again, you know, all the sponsors, make sure you tell them the Grill Master sent you. That United with Market Street Amigos and your Uniteds, and then Flint Hat Company. You can find my recipe book at the Flint Hat Company. Go by there, see Jarrett, and get your custom hat or your boot and shoe repair, and get that with him. And they have the books are there. You can get them there. And also All Seasons Property Care for continued support in many ways. I greatly appreciate them. Of course, Stubbs, McCormick's, you know, they're at Cactus Creek Firewood. You know, Scott down there, he's been real good to me, so I really appreciate all of them. But I just want to take this time to tell you all that on August 25th, 2013, my dad passed away. I guess it was his turn. Came to when it was, you know, the good Lord, you know, your life is written and you have no choice. Yeah, we don't know near the day nor the hour nor how, but when it's your turn, it's your turn. And on August 25th, 2013, it was my daddy's turn. But I know he's in the big ranch in the sky. He rode away into the sunset. Had a great life. He was 90. He had a job to do here on earth, and I think he did a great job at it. I'm gonna miss him dearly. Excuse me, I'm gonna miss him dearly, but his legacy will live on through me and my boys. I know not very many of you out there got to meet my dad, but I promise you, I try to be the best example of my dad that I can be. So maybe you didn't get to meet him personally, physically, but I promise you, what you see in me is my dad. He was a very humble man, and a very God-loving man, and he was a good man, and was a great husband, and a great father, and a great friend. And we went, going through, well, taking my dad to his last resting place. The people that came, they showed that the respect that they had for my dad was truly amazing, truly amazing. But thank you all very much. The show will continue, and I'll continue talking about my dad and about my mom. And I still have my mama. She's doing okay. Her world ended as she knew it, but she's a strong woman, and she knows that my dad would want her to keep going. So I know she is, but now here's a little something, a little tribute to my dad that I hope you enjoy. hope you enjoyed that little tribute to my dad. That was my dad, and I know that when good Lord came to him and told him, Luis, it's your turn, I know my dad just looked at him, and like always, yes sir, mira, listo. Backyard Grilling with the Grill Master, brought to you by these proud sponsors.